Okay, so here we are in section 11.5. We're graphing x squared equations. So let me give you the plan. So 11.5, graphing x squared. So how do you graph x squared equations? And these in particular have no x to the first power. Oh, sorry, getting a little messed up there. These have no x to the first power. So alright, so no x to the first power. Okay, so how do you do it? So basically, let me give you an example. Suppose you have y equals, or these I'll have f of x, I guess, so I'll say f of x equals, it doesn't really matter, same thing. F of x equals, say 3x minus 2 squared plus 4. Here's how it works. You take the opposite of this number and the same as that number. The center will be opposite comma same of those two numbers. The center is called the vertex. The center, it's going to be a U-shape. Whenever you have x squared, you're going to get either a U-shape going up or a U-shape going down. And right now I'm telling you how to find the center of the U-shape. It's going to be the opposite of whatever number's next to x and the same of whatever number's here. So that would be the opposite of negative 2, positive 2, and the same as plus 4 is just plus 4. So that would mean right 2 up 4, right there, over 2 up 4, is going to be the center of the U-shape for this equation. Now, we're almost there. The last thing you need, well, the second to last thing you need, is you need to find one other point. The way the graphing program works is it makes you put 2 dots, and then it makes the U-shape from your 2 dots. How do we find one other dot? So we've got the center, opposite, same. Other point, one other point. You treat this like a slope. Slope equals 3. Just put it over 1. So it's going to be 3 over 1. Get a little scribbly here. 3 over 1. Rise over run. So from here I'm going to go up 3 over 1. So go up 3 over 1, click that dot, and it'll make your U-shape going right up through that dot. So again, I went up 3 over 1 from the center. That was from the center, and this is like a slope, 3 over 1. Rise over run, up 3 over 1. Click the dot. That's your other dot. It makes the U-shape automatically. Now the last thing they're going to ask you for is what's called, they'll ask you for the vertex, the center, and then they'll ask you for the line of symmetry. The line of symmetry is this line right here. It's the line which splits right through the middle of the U-shape. And that's super easy. They want the equation. They want you to write x equals, this hits the x-axis, right? This is the line that goes right through the x-axis at 2 at whatever the center of the x is. So whatever the x-coordinate of the center is, that's the line of symmetry's equation, x equals 2. And they want you to put notice they want a dotted line there, and they want solid. They want a solid graph for the U-shape, and they want a dotted line on the graph for the symmetry line, the line of symmetry. And you'll see how to make dotted lines. There's a little button that has solid line or dotted line. You choose dotted for the line of symmetry. You'll be able to figure it out on the graph maker. So that's our plan. Let's do question number 1 then. So question 1 says f of x equals x squared minus 4. X squared minus 4. So here we go. We start by finding the center. What's the center? The center is opposite of what's next to x. What's next to x? What numbers added? So look back here. What numbers added, subtracted next to x? Nothing. 0, and then the same as the other number, 0, negative 4. So that means over 0, down 4, right there, over 0, down 4, is the center of our U shape, our parabola, it's called, quadratic. We're graphing x squared. X squared is always that way. Now, so that's the center. Now, from here, how do we find the next point? We need the slope. What's the slope? What's in front of x? Nothing, which is 1 over 1. That's our rise and our run. It's like a slope. Go up 1 over 1. There's the second dot. Up 1 over 1. Connect from the center, go up through that dot. There's the U shape. Last thing it wants is it wants the line of symmetry. And what's the line of symmetry? It always goes right through the middle of the U shape, of the parabola. And its equation is always x equals whatever the center's x coordinate is. It goes right through that. Okay, number 2 here. So I'll bring it down here. F of x equals x minus 4 squared. So really, it's helpful to have a number out here and a number out here so we can know what all of our parts are. There's nothing out here, so I'm going to put a 1 because 1 times that doesn't change anything. And out here, I'm going to put a plus 0. Now, you might wonder, well, why, Mr. Why did you make that plus 1? Well, because adding 1, because remember, the number out here is an added or subtracted number. The number here is a multiplied number. So if you're going to multiply by something and not change it, you got to multiply by 1. If you're going to add or subtract something and not change it, you got to add or subtract 0, right? I want to put in numbers that don't change anything, really. They're just helpful for me to graph. So I want to have all 3 of my numbers. So, all right, so those numbers don't change anything. Multiplying by 1 and adding 0 change nothing. Now, what's my center? Remember how you do it? Opposite, same. So the opposite of negative 4, positive 4, same as 0. That means over 4 up 0 right here. Over 4 up 0, that's the center of the U shape. That's the vertex, they call it. And now, how do you find one other point? The slope right here, rise over run. Go up 1 over 1, right there. I don't know if you can see. I'm going to make it over here. There's not much room there. Over 4, up 0, then go up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, and let the U shape go through that dot. So it's really tiny here. Okay, and then so they're asking right here for the vertex. That's 4, 0. That's the center. And then they want the axis of symmetry. That's always x equals, and what is it? The x number right here, 4. It's always just that number. X equals 4. And they want you to put that on the graph as a dotted line on the graph. So right there, you put that on the graph as a dotted line at x equals 4. Okay, so x squared plus 9. So again, I'm going to, there's a 1 in front. And if you want, you can rewrite that x squared. You don't have to, but it's x plus 0 squared plus 9. So then the center is, remember, opposite 0, 9. It's opposite, same. The reason I wrote x plus 0 is because that's the same as just x. So opposite, same. You seeing that? It's a little sloppy. Can you see all that? So it's the opposite of the number next to x and the same. The opposite of 0 is just 0. The same as 9 is 9. So 0, 9 over 0 up 9 right here at over 0 up 9. That's the center. So now, how do you find the second? That's the vertex, 0, 9. And the axis symmetry is x equals 0. It's always the x coordinate. And then how do you get your one other dot to finish the graph? You always use the slope, right? Put this 1 over 1, rise over run. So you go up 1 over 1, right there, up 1 over 1, the U shape will go right up through that. And then they want you to put this line in as dotted that goes right through the middle. So you just click any two dots right on that vertical line, make a dotted line right through the middle of the axis of symmetry. So here we are on number 6. So we have it's equal to minus 5x squared. Well, let me rewrite that so we have our numbers. That's like x plus 0 squared plus 0. That's the same thing, right? It's just minus 5x squared. And so the center, remember it's opposite, same. Well, that's just 0, 0. Opposite of 0, 0, the same as 0, 0. Center 0, 0. So this U shape is centered at the origin, 0, 0. All right, and then where do we go from there? Well, the slope is the number in the front. Rise over run. Put it over 1. The number in front over 1 is your slope. Rise over run. So that means you go down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1. Right there. Down 5 over 1. And then boom. I kind of missed it. Boom. I didn't draw that too well. But there's the U shape going down. See, it goes through that point from the center down through that point. Because that front is negative, this U shape goes down. Does everybody see that? I could redraw it over here. So 0, 0 is the center, and then down 5, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1. So down 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1, down 5 over 1. Oops. Down 5 over 1 is how we get to the other dot. So then connect the dots. This goes down, this goes down. There is the graph. And the vertex is 0, 0. The axis of symmetry is x equals 0. It's just always the x thing. And then last thing is you got to put that dotted line right through the middle of the U shape. There we go. Okay, number 9 is, so there's let me write it here a little bigger. It's f of x equals x minus 3/2, whoops, squared minus 4. So we're going to take the center will be opposite, same. So the opposite of negative 3/2 is positive 3/2, and the same as negative 4 is negative 4. So that's 1.5 on your calculator, if that helps. 3.3/2. So it's over 1.5 right here. Down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, right there. So there it is. It's over 3/2, 1.5. Down 4. There's the center of the U shape called the vertex. So 3/2 down 4. And the axis of symmetry is x equals 3/2. It's just always x equals the x coordinate. Now let's draw, how do you do the graph? You need one other dot. You use the slope. 1 over, there's nothing in front, so that's 1 over 1, the rise over run. So go up 1 and over 1. Now, how do you go over 1? Notice we're right in the middle between 1 and 2, so this would be over 1, right? To jump from the middle of 1 and 2 to the, we're at 1.5 to jump to 2.5. So I went up 1, over 1. It's 2 boxes, right? Because all the boxes are half a unit on this one. So up 2 boxes is up 1, and over 2 boxes is over 1. Right there, up 1, over 1. That's the other dot on the U shape. Now start from the center, go up through that dot, make your parabola. Last thing they require is the dotted line right through the middle of the U shape. There it is. Okay, number 10, we have minus x plus 4 squared. So I would put a plus 0 out here just to help. This is really a minus 1 over 1 in the front there, isn't it? Because that number in the front is going to be my slope. So what is my center? Oops, sorry, I'm not writing that too well. Opposite, same. So it'd be negative 4, 0. So that's right here, isn't it? Back 4, up 0. That's the center of the U shape. That's the vertex. And this is x equals negative 4. It's just always the x coordinate. That's the axis that goes right through the middle. Now let's find our other dot. Rise over run. So from the center, from that minus 4, 0 point, you need to go down 1 over 1. I just don't even have room there. Let me try over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's minus 4, 0. Then go down 1 over 1. Right there. Down 1 over 1. So from minus 4, 0, down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, and then from that center, go through that other point to make your U shape. So this is a U shape going down, of course, because it's got a negative in the front, negative slope. Negative in the front means the U shape goes down. Positive in the front means the U shape goes up. So do that, and then the last thing is you got to put a dotted line right through the middle. That's this line, x equals negative 4, going right through the middle. Okay, so here we are. Bring it down here. F of x is minus 3x squared plus 4. I'm going to rewrite that just so I can see my numbers. I'm going to make that x plus 0 squared plus 4. You don't have to, but that makes it easier for me to see that the center is, remember, opposite of the number next to x in the parenthesis and the same as the other number. So 0, 4. So the center is over 0, up 4, right there. Over 0, up 4. So that's the vertex, 0, 4. And this is x equals 0. It's just always the x value. Okay, and now how do you find your other dot? You need one more dot, so that you can make the U shape. Well, it's whatever's in the front, how you make that. So this is rise over run. So from here you go down through 1, 2, 3 over 1. So there's the other dot. Now you move from the center through that dot to make the U shape. It's a U shape going down because there's a negative in the front. Negative in the front, the U shape goes down. Positive in the front, the U shape goes up. Last thing is you got to put in this dotted line right through the center. X equals 0. That's the line of symmetry right through the center.